Buongiorno and welcome. We recently decided to invest into a water filter and we opted for something called Water2. We purchased it online, the package has just arrived. We paid £109, but it was discounted by £20. I think approximately £129, £130 is the retail price. I will be fitting this today and I'm going to show you how I do that, assuming I'm successful. But also I've got here a little tester, a TDS tester, which is something that checks the purity or impurities in the water. So I'll be able to do a little test of what it looks like before and after. But before we start, let's take a look to see what is inside. Oh, welcome to Water2. A nice welcoming letter. A letter from Bear Grylls OBE. Oh, I wonder if he's only sent it to me. Okay, welcome letter. Oh, that's handy. There is a little quick guide on how to install it. Useful. Let's have a look. Oh, this looks like a water flask. Yeah, it's quite neat. I guess that the cartridge is inside. Yes, it is. And this one is what gets replaced every so often. I think once a year is what I recommend. And I'm just, yeah, comes off very easily. And it goes on again very easily. So I can imagine that once it's been installed, the replacement of the cartridge is a couple of minutes job. Let's take a look at the rest of the goodies. And as suspected, there are some plumbing pipes. There is this one here is just a pipe. This one here has got a little plastic, oh, what is it called? Oops, what is it called? Oh, it's a smart buzzer. This is what detects the quality of the water, and as and when I suspect the cartridge needs to be replaced, there will be a little indicator telling you to do that. And there is another nut here. Let's have a look. Oh, this is for plumbing purposes. So all seems to be very neat and very well boxed and straightforward. Let me tell you a little bit about their claims, and I will then get on with some plumbing. Okay, I'm on their website, and the first claim is that they filter 99.99% of bacteria. Why not 100? I always wonder. And bacteria are organisms that can make you ill. They are not always harmful, but some are. And they live in water, they live everywhere. Imagine of bacteria like little critters in a pond, and you would not want them in your drinking water. Clearly, water companies do a great job in filtering a lot of bacteria, but some can always end up in your drinking water. So that's what they are claiming, 99.9%. The next claim is that they filter 99.99% of microplastics. Microplastics are invisible to the naked eye, and they come from clothing, packaging and everyday plastic use. But they can find their way to our drinking water through pollution and industrial waste. I'll give you a little analogies. I like analogies. Imagine a plastic bottle which is cut into millions of tiny little pieces, and those little pieces of plastic are floating in a river. The water companies do their best to filter them out, but with all the best will in the world, there will always be some impurity of this floating plastic that will find their way into our water system, and that is what they claim that they are potentially filtering out, 99.9% of microplastics. The next claim is a big word, so hopefully I'll be able to pronounce it correctly. It's called cryptosporidium, and again 99.9% filtered out. That is a microscopic parasite which sometimes is hard to catch, and the treatment from the water companies is not always 100% successful. But if ingested, it can cause some illness, especially stomach bugs and so on. This is very much like an uninvited guest into a party, but very, very hard to spot. So again, 99.9%. And in a similar vein, the next one is parasites, but more generic rather than singling one out. Parasites are small organisms that live in other organisms in order to survive. So yet again, not something that you would want to ingest, as it can make you ill. So that's another claim. Moving on, the next claim is chlorine, 95.28%. I like that it's precise, 0.28%. Chlorine is the superhero of water treatments. It's effectively what kills the germs, the parasites, to make the water safe. But A feature of chlorine, as you will know, is that it doesn't taste very nice. So this product, it claims that it will make the water taste fresher and more pure, so removing that bitter taste from chlorine. We'll see. And finally, the last claim is that they remove 99.99% of asbestos. I have to say, I was slightly surprised about that. I didn't think there was any asbestos in our water, and most probably there isn't any. However, thinking about it, it does make sense, because clearly some of the big water pipes that supply water most probably were made with asbestos, or maybe they're made with asbestos. And although the water companies will do a great job in purifying the water, if there is any leftover, clearly this product claims to remove 99.9% of any leftover. Think about the analogy, what that is, and imagine you got some glitter spilled in your carpet, and you might hoover it, and you will be removing most of it, but it's so fine that you will always have some leftover, and that leftover is what this product claims to do, to filter it out. Anyway, enough of the science. Let's go under the sink and see how easy it is to fit. They claim that it should take 10 minutes, so I'll be interested to see if that is the case. First job though is to make a cup of tea, and Julie's having a coffee, so we have got to go and turn the water off, but before we do that we'll finish our coffee. Thank you, Julie. The plumbing of the filter is quite critical in terms of where to put it, and I've seen people placing it immediately after the water comes into your house. That means that you're filtering all of the water that goes into your house, which is not necessary. The purpose here, as I mentioned earlier, is to purify the water mostly for drinking and cooking purposes. So the only real tap that matters is your tap that you're using in the kitchen, assuming that is the one you use for cooking and drinking purposes. So I will be putting the filter between this tap and the supply of water which goes into this tap.
To be fair, if you wanted to filter your whole house, which you can, and often you use a softener, then you need a completely different product to the one we've purchased.
That is not the purpose of this product. Now, like you do with the electrics, you switch the electrics off if you're doing any electrical work, including replace a light bulb. In this case, can you see the little lever over there? That is my stopcock. So I need to turn it off so that the water supply is stopped.
Sorry, everybody is kicking me.
And to close it, you go clockwise, by the way. Okay.
What is the little sign there was saying? Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Does that work?
Yeah, I guess it does, yes.
Yeah?
Righty tighty, yes. You're right. And to check, obviously, I'll turn my cold water tap on, and I can see that it's already very, very weak. And this is water left in the pipe, so I'll leave it on until it goes. But also, this is not the lowest point in my house. The toilet tank is. So I'm going to be flushing the toilet so that that will also help us to ensure that there is no water left in the system. But I'm not going to show you me flushing the toilet. I think you got the gist.
Leave that to your imagination, yes. Everybody.
While the water drains, though, I can tidy up down here, as the likelihood in most cases is that the plumbing of your tap is underneath your sink. It is in my case.
Along with all my rubbish.
Along with all of the rubbish in there. So I will just empty this, and then we can get to the back. Nice and empty cupboard. If, like me, you've got any electric supply, like this is powering the dishwasher and this is powering my fridge, obviously I'm going to be turning them off and disconnecting them, as I'll be working with water and I don't really fancy them to be turned on. To access the pipes on the back, I need to remove this back panel, but I know that because I can see that it's hitting these plastic drain pipes, and it will knock them out. Washing a bowl, most important plumbing tool. Place it underneath, and there are 4 connections I need to undo. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and like Julie say, anti-clockwise. And
lefty loosey. Oh, that's righty tight. Hang on, you're going right.
No, I'm going because I'm going from the front, so anti-clockwise 1. This one here as well. This is the pipe that discharges the water from the dishwasher. It can come off. So we'll be able to give also this a little clean.
Absolutely.
We got a dual sink, so we got 2 of these. But if you've got only 1 sink, you will only have 1 of those. So I'll screw this one and this one as well. And the way to take it out is to push it out first, like this. and at the same time pull it down, and as you can see, in less than a minute it's out. And this is a great opportunity to give this a lovely
I'll have
clean.
a lot of fun cleaning that because I'm a bit sad. Oh, there's still quite a bit of gunk in that one, that big one. Ew. I don't think you realise, if you knew Francesco, this is really turning his stomach. He's not impressed.
I was talking about microorganisms later and bacteria. So
there's a
this
whole
is
new
all
world
very
living in our
relevant.
sink.
Now that I've removed all of the drain pipes, this comes off very, very easily. Quick wipe, and I can actually see that it's going to be quite easy and straightforward in my case. The left pipe is the supply of hot water. Always that is the convention in plumbing terms, assuming...
in the UK, I guess.
In the UK, I suspect, yeah. So assuming your plumber has done the job correctly, that should be left hot. And this is my cold water supply, which is where I'm going to be placing the filter. And I will be placing the filter between this pipe and this pipe. So I need to disconnect this pipe so that then I can introduce the filter. And I'm ready to start disassembling things. In terms of tools, what you will need is very straightforward, actually nothing complicated, but you do need the right tools for the job. I will be using these two spanners today, which are ideal because they are actually adjustable and can be adjusted to fit the right size of the nuts and so on. But if you do not have these tools, you can also use a combination of these and these, or a couple of these, but these are going to be much easier. Also, I meant to mention that you're going to be needing some tape. This is called Teflon tape. Actually, the right name is PTFE, and this is a thread seal tape which does a combination of things. Ensures that there are no leaks as it provides a good seal, but also lubricates, so it's easier for you to work, and also it's chemical resistant. So very cheap. I think this is about £1, but you get loads, and you got lots of spare for any other jobs you might do around the house. Before I disconnect pipes though, let me just explain something. This is the piece of pipe which will come out of the filter from here, and this will measure the quality of the water. So this will need to be connected to my tap, and this one here without the little plastic clever bit is what will come from the mains, and it will be connected to the way in. The part which will go to the tap has got a male, and the part which will supply the water has got a female. So to remove this part, I will place my spanner in the middle here, and I'll get hold of the top nut, and I'll turn it anti-clockwise. You might need a little bit of Pluto strength, but it actually did come off very easily. And I'm going to get in the cupboard, you're going to have to pull it out, and it's been there for years, so it's likely to need a little bit of man strength. There you go, job done. However, I did mention the use of some Teflon tape, so I will do that now. I'll put some on the threads of each connector. And it is actually very easy, and this is non-sticky, so you can use other sides, and just apply it and go around the pipe maybe 2 or 3 times.
You go around the piece with the thread, yeah?
Yes, you go around the piece with the thread, and then if you go back with your fingers like so, so that it is properly stuck. This pipe here, the female end, has got a little rubber washer, which is critical to avoid, obviously, any leaks, so make sure you don't lose it. And this is no different when you are changing a pipe in your shower, really. Very straightforward, look. It goes very nicely in. And I'm back inside the cupboard, and I'm now going clockwise and in reversal as to what I did before, and I'm tightening it up. Do not go mad over tight, because there's the plastic rubber and actually you could damage it. Enough so that it stops. A bit like when you're changing your shower pipes. And I seem to have lost my mic. Now I seem to have encountered my first problem, and I can see what's happening. This is the other connection, and this is called an olive, which is what is used in pipes for plumbing when connecting to one another. If I go and try and connect my female to here and put it in, it should just go in. But because this is a compression joint and the olive has compressed the pipe, this is a bit bigger than what it should be. So this pipe...
It's made it bulge a bit.
Yeah, it bulges a bit. This pipe will not go in. Here, I'll show you in this pipe where I've actually replicated exactly the same problem. and it's a little bit clear, it will not go in because that's bulged up. So the job that I need to do is to cut it here, or here in this particular case, and put a new olive and then do a new connection. I was hoping that this was a straightforward enough job for anyone to be able to do at home, the 10 minutes claim. It's not a big deal, but quite clearly if you're not conversant with these things, you're gonna get stuck. So before you replace your filter, have a look at your pipes to see if you got any copper pipes, and at the very least you are armed with the materials you need before you start. And I had to revert to my magic plumbing toolbox, but luckily I've got everything I need. And this little tool is wonderful. It's a little pipe cutter. Look, I'll show you. It's got a little wheel which is got a blade, and as I turn around I'll tighten it up and it will start digging into the pipe until it cuts it off. There it is. That's come off, and it should just be able to push it in, but it's actually quite hard. It's not going in because this pipe is old. Okay, I have decided to bite the bullet and replace this piece of pipe, as I'm going to struggle to fit it in here. And I found likely another olive which I will need, and I will put a complete new piece of pipe. This plastic pipe though is a little bit too long, so I'm going to be reducing it in size so that it's the same as the other one would have been. And of course these pipe cutters are very versatile and can be used on plastic as well.
Maybe you need a new one with a new blade.
Maybe. There you go, job done. Perfect. Olives goes fast, and this one should be going in very easy now, and it does. Look, I've been able to push it all the way, and I'm happy now. This is a brand new compression joint, and I will be honest with you, I don't think that on new ones you do need to use the tape. I think that is the advice anyway, but I'll put it in anyway, it cannot do any harm. And this should just go on very easily now, and as you can see, it's already gripped it. And as I'm outside the cupboard, it's going to be much easier for me to work outside, so I can do it now. More Teflon tape. So remember, the nut goes in first, followed by the new olive, like so. And push this in all the way, like so. And then whilst you are pressing them together, start turning your nut clockwise. You will find that this is very loose at the moment until this is properly secured, so it will ensure that it doesn't come out.
You know, it's an observation for me. We're trying to filter out all of the plastics, and yet in order to get the water back into our tap, it's going to go through a plastic tube and collect more plastics.
Well, hopefully that's not the case. These are specifically designed and manufactured for water. That is the one concern I do not have. And like before, do ensure that obviously it is tight enough, but do not go mad. It doesn't need to be absolutely until you run out of energies. And the plumbing work is complete. I didn't need to use this. I suspect this is for some other eventualities, but it didn't apply to me. So the next job is to now connect this one to the part which says out, so that supplies the sink, and this one on the inlet. But we did have a little discussion, Julie and I, as to the best place to locate these, because ideally I don't want to have to remove the back cover every year when I replace the cartridge. So we've decided that we will feed these pipes on top of the little board, and then this can sit in the corner over here, and then it should be plenty of pipe for us to just be able to unscrew it and replace it. So I'll put the cupboard together first, and then we can finish the job. However, before I connect the drains, I want to test in case there are any leaks, so that then in case I need to take it out again, hopefully it won't be the case. Smart buzzer on the outside, and it's just a matter of pushing it in. And this is my inlet. But before I turn the water on from my stopcock, I make sure that all of my taps are closed, including the ones in the rest of the house and the utility, which are open entirely to drain. Otherwise I'll end up with water everywhere. Different cupboard, the water supply. Ooh, the whole house is rumbling. Next job is to turn this on so that it monitors the quality of the water. If there was a leak I would be able to see it, but I can see that it's all very dry and there is no noise of water, so let's turn the tap on. And let's see if it works first. Ooh, blimey! There he goes. There is carried water. So no leaks, water is coming through, beautiful, and I'll put all of the drains back, and then I'll let it run for 3 minutes so we could do that test I mentioned at the beginning of the video. And quite simply, I will go in reverse now, so I will be reconnecting all of my drain pipes, and again I'm going clockwise. And I would recommend that you just do this with your hands, not use your spanners, as it should be good enough really. The one thing you need to make sure when you're reconnecting them is that you catch the thread properly, and you do not force it if it's not going in properly, otherwise it will leak. And the last one is my dishwasher. Goes in. This one here, we will leave it standing here, see how it goes. It's kind of tucked out of the way. I'll turn this so that we can see the quality of the water, and that should be easy enough for us to replace it, the cartridge was, and when it needs to.
Hopefully once a year.
Hopefully once a year. But before I start using the filter, I will open the tap and leave it running for 3 minutes, and that will do two things. It is recommended by the manufacturer that you leave it on for 3 minutes before you start using the water, but also I want to make sure that there are no leaks, and actually it's bone dry.
Now the trick is to get everything back in here with this
bottle. And by the way, I did actually volunteer to put everything away, but Julie apparently says that she can do a better job than me.
No, I'm a bit sad. I like sorting out cupboards.
So everything is put together, time to do our test. I'll go and fill this from the utility room, which hasn't got a filter, and I'll fill this from here, and then I'll do a comparison in terms of taste, flavor, and also I can use this little machine to see if there is any difference. So this is normal water coming from the mains. I'll use this green glass for my new improved filtered water, and I'll do a taste first. This tastes just like normal water.
Well, normal, hard Norfolk water, to be
yes.
fair.
Let's try the new improved water. Yeah, the taste is different. Actually, I would say this is slightly more pleasant than the water straight out of the tap. There isn't much of a chlorine taste to it, but I can see that it's made a difference to the taste in terms of this is a little bit more pleasurable. The next test is this measure of quality of water. Now I have to say I did purchase this for a different purpose when I bought a different filter. I'll show you in a moment. This is supposed to test the quality of the water, but it's mostly about the solids in the water. But let's have a look. The reading is 000, and I'm doing the water from the mains first. The lower the reading, the better. So this one reads 265. Give it a little shake. Yep, back to 0, and let's try the new improved water. 265, it's exactly the same. Okay.
But
so
may I point out, we've done several tests as we've been, trying this out, haven't we? And they've been at different levels every single time we've tried it.
Yeah, but they are all very similar. One had 280, 300. So maybe I'm using the wrong tool. I'll show you what I purchased this for, and then you can see what I mean. This is a water filter which I bought when I had some problem with my kidney, and this removes the entirety of calcium, I think, in the water and any solids. So if I just show you with this one. First of all, while I've been testing water, I want to see what this is like.
I can tell you, everybody, this tastes horrible. I can't even drink it on its own. It's really horrible.
Yeah, it is actually, it is different now that I've actually got the other water. It smells more chemical, and indeed, yes, so we're going to be stopping using that. But
we're on our last filter, it's nearly run out anyways, that's why we decided to do this now.
Yes, indeed. So 000, however, this has got a great reading, look, 003. So it works very well in removing some of the solids of the water, so maybe I'm not using the right tool, but taste-wise.
No, it's horrible. It even spoils my cup of tea, to be honest.
Indeed. But yeah, I will see. Obviously, I only just put it in. We'll see how it goes, and then in a year's time, I'll be able to see if it goes back to the same test as the other one. So in summary, let's recap. They claim that it takes 10 minutes. I think it's a bit of an exaggeration. 10 minutes is what it takes to empty your cupboard and putting everything back again. So I think it's one of those branding things which are PR, which I'm not necessarily keen, and I knew that it wasn't going to take 10 minutes. Maybe if it was a new build and you had plastic pipes, it would have been quicker, but 10 minutes is a bit of an exaggeration. It took me just over an hour and 5 minutes, and my recommendation is that be aware that if you've got 15 millimeters copper pipes, you're going to have the same problem I did. So before you start, make sure that you are armed with the right tools, and also have a little piece of pipe, plastic pipe, which would be ideal, or maybe the right coupler. But at the very least, you know what you're facing before you go into the job. But yeah, it was relatively straightforward. It didn't take me half a day. Sometimes these jobs can take forever. And we did it as a team and we enjoyed it. So it's good outcome, and there are no leaks. Okay, that is the end of the video. Thank you for watching it. If you watched to the end, hopefully you have enjoyed it and maybe learned something. And if you are enjoying the channel, I know there are only a few videos. The channel is very new, only launched at the beginning of January. Subscribe, and I will be doing a lot more of these sort of things in future, and other stuff, not necessarily DIY, and hopefully we can have some fun together. Arrivederci, grazie, and good or buon drinking. Buon, what do you say? Happy drinking. Ciao.